Hello, everybody. I hope you all can hear me. I hope you're all having a great day. This is very spontaneous. I did not plan on doing this, as I usually don't plan on going live on days that I work, but I am up and awake and alert, and my family has gone on vacation, so they are not here. So I just wanted to take advantage of the nice, quiet, late morning into the afternoon time. And it is just, even though it's very overcast, it's a very beautiful looking day outside. I'm at my kitchen table just looking out over the way. They're building, starting a new subdivision. They haven't even started building the houses yet. They're just getting everything started to build the houses, but it just looks gorgeous out in a way. I've had a cup of coffee. I've had a glass of water. I have a glass of water right here. Oh man, I have tried to get on live a couple times and just haven't had the energy to do it. So I am doing it now. Have a few things to talk about. I do want to mention and highlight Kelsey Berreth today, as she was killed in 2018. And this case has not gotten what I don't believe has gotten the attention that it deserves, because it was happening around the same time as the Watts case. It didn't get as much attention as as it could have, because Watts was overpowering, which that was an important one too. And we will talk about Watts later, in closer to CrimeCon. But Kelsey has not been found, but the fiance Patrick Frazee is in jail for it, so that's they have enough proof. And also, the his mistress came forward. Thank goodness for her. Uh, but yeah, Kelsey was last seen the day before Thanksgiving 2018, going into either like a Target, I believe, or somewhere. Um, I believe it was Target. And she was last seen leaving Target and never seen again. Uh, Her phone or something was pinging, or either, I think his phone, one of the phones was pinging in like Oregon or Idaho, where this lady was that Patrick was speaking with, talking to, and probably more. And then she came forward with the information that led to what we think is Kelsey's demise. I I was just reading, just kind of refreshing myself, but she was beaten to death. And then I think she was burned, and she has not been found. And he lived in an area that had some acreage on it and whatnot. So I don't know who's with me, but I don't know if y'all anyone wants to come up. I do have the link uh, pin to come up and speak with me if you'd like. Um, but I do have a few other things to speak about today. I'm finding more cases that I want to speak about sooner rather than later after CrimeCon. I'm finding out that the state of Iowa is crazy with crime. Like, I did not realize. I mean, you know how, like, I hear a lot, you hear a lot in like bigger states and stuff. I was not that huge of a state, and there are some crazy things that have gone on in that state as well. Um, and just some information on something that happened here in Omaha the other day on Wednesday. We had some members found and arrested without incident, safely and professionally arrested for probably being in this country illegally for several years. They said they were probably hiding out here, but they were, I don't know what led them to a tip, but they were onto them, and they were, finding a way to safely arrest and possibly, I don't know if they're going to deport them or what, but they arrested them safely, and they're known criminals and all that. So hats off to the Douglas County Sheriff's Department and the Nebraska State Patrol. Anyone who might have been in regards to that. There's been another case in Iowa that I'm going to want to talk about sooner than later, as after CrimeCon, as that's kind of where I want my channel to kind of highlight. After CrimeCon and where I want my channel to go, I want to highlight the LGBT community. And this happens to be a young man that liked to cross-dress, and he was brutally killed in Iowa. And yeah, I don't know how long ago it was. Yeah. So I do think that they did catch the people, and they are in jail for it. But I will highlight that case after CrimeCon. Also, don't know if anyone's following the preppy high school murder case with Raul Valley, who was acquitted the other day. And it's not a case of who done it, because he did it. He stabbed 4 people, killing one, Jimmy McGrath, and claimed self-defense. Nope. Sorry about that. And killing Jimmy McGrath, stabbing 3 others. Ryan Hines, Faison Teal, and one of the Connery brothers, I think. I don't know if it was Tom or Charlie, but one of them. And, I think 21 people or so gave testimony, and I think they just wanted to make sure that every single person's story matched up as to what happened. And they came, when Raul took the stand, he claimed self-defense, explained what happened, and I get that. What I don't get is that it was a party, and 4 kids in a car showed up to the party. I think one of the kids threw Raul a knife, just in case, he said. And then they left, but they came back. So I think he was just being overcharged with, I don't know if they charged him with manslaughter in the murder in the first degree, but I'm pretty sure they were charging him with manslaughter in the first degree intentional. Now that's where I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I don't think he went there intentionally wanting to kill one person and, stab 4 others. But I mean, if you watch the trial, guys, I watched bits and pieces of it, long bits and pieces of it. Everything was looking good until Raul took the stand, and then all of a sudden he's claiming self-defense. And I'm like, what? And then they're showing this video of the fight, and oh Lord, they're showing this video of the fight, and then I'm like, oh, that's not gonna look good, like blah blah blah. So I don't know. They did deadlock in a couple of the other charges. I don't know if they'll come back and try to charge them with those or not. The state will come back and try to charge them with those. But I mean, if it was self-defense, it was self-defense. The kid was 16 years old at the time, so there's that too. And I talked to Dago about it last night, and um, like I said, um, and I said it on Dago's last night, and I'll say it again. Like, I think people are just figuring out how juries work and are supposed to work, the jury's instructions. Not just juries, but like just everybody is, finding out what you're really, really supposed to do and how hard it is to get a first-degree murder charge. I mean, there is so much to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt in first-degree murder charges that it is crazy. And that brings me to the Koberger situation. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. I don't understand. The 23rd will be a very interesting day, in my opinion, on that. And I just, it'll be interesting. And, it's just beyond. I didn't really think that this case could get much crazier, but everything always does. I don't know, there's so much to it, and all the state, all the defense has to do is prove prove reasonable doubt, and there's plenty of it in that case, in my opinion. So why he did, it's either one of two things, and you're either on one side of the fence or the other with his plea. It's either he pled because that is what it is, and he just was like, I'm done. I'm done. Let me do, I'm just gonna admit it. I'm done. That's the truth. That's it. That's all. Or there's something more to it that we may or may not ever find out. So many questions, so little answers. And we could spend the rest of our life, wondering some things. And I just want to comment or whatever, one thing. If anybody on this platform, and if any of you are listening, you probably know who I'm talking about, cannot go get their own content, that is a problem. We in this true crime community will never be lacking content. I mean, I'm not saying because you can look at other people's content and still put it in your own words. And I have found hundreds of other creators and their videos, and there are cases that I have never even, there's hundreds and thousands of cases that I have never even heard about, that these creators have videos of that could last. I mean, we could easily, even now, like just to catch up, you could do content for years and, cases for years and still not, um, be with, still not cover every case. So we will, and there's new stuff happening every day. Things happen every day. And then maybe we don't hear about it for a year or 6 months or 2 years or whatever. But there's always going to be new content, I promise. There's stuff happening every day. So we should never be lacking content, for sure. Yeah, I don't know who's with me, if anybody. I just wanted to bring awareness to Kelsey's case. I think about it all the time. It didn't get the attention it deserved, or anything like that, because I don't think, in my opinion, because the Watts case was going on. And but like I say, we'll talk about Watts later on down the road. And I believe Watts is one of my topics in August, right before the Crime Con, because you can't talk about Colorado crime without talking about Chris Watts. But Kelsey Berreth happened too. And I think I think her parents have her daughter now. They said that in December, she was the daughter, like in December of 2019 or 2018, she was in state custody. But I think since then I've heard that she is with Kelsey's parents. I'm excited for CrimeCon. Just oh, there's my dog. Sorry if there's too much noise. Dog just came downstairs. But just, excited for CrimeCon, just worried about the money situation. And I don't want to do this for money. I will put my, however, I will put my Cash App and Venmo in the notes, in the comments later. I'll make it happen some way, somehow. But anyways, yeah, I don't know if anybody's with me, if anybody has anything. Oh yeah, I was just supposed to start 10 minutes ago. I've been on for 18 minutes. I do have a schedule somewhere. It is just lost in my pile. But I can also just make a new one. And I probably will, because I know all the cases I was going to talk about up to August, and then August was going to be the official countdown. August to, the month of August was going to be the official countdown. Just have to make a list of the topics I was going to talk about, and then put on the countdown to CrimeCon topics, because we're going to do a little mix of Colorado crime and review last year's CrimeCon cases, including Denise Huskins Quinn, Robert Wan, and Brittany Phillips. And I do want to also let y'all know, Maggie, Brittany Phillips' mom, is going on tour in the month of August, starting August 1st and ending in CrimeCon. So I'm excited to see her. again. I don't know where she's going. She's just trying to figure out where she's needed and wanted for, because she is obviously an advocate for cold cases. Um, and so she is starting her tour, her Caravan to Catch a Killer, her tour for cold cases um, in August and ending at CrimeCon. So we'll be talking about Brittany in late August. We'll be talking about Denise and Aaron in late August, Robert Wan in late August. I really hope Glenn Kirscher goes to CrimeCon again, because I'd really like to know if there's any updates on that, on Robert's case, because that is a case I have followed since who brought it to my attention? Probably Kendall Ray. Really do hope Kendall's there as well, as she's in Colorado. I know Annie will be there. I know Kimberlea will be there, and Kimberlea was not there last year due to having a baby. So I believe she said she will be there this year. Also, just super excited to meet Colby Ryan, Lori Vallow Daybell's son. So Colby and the lead investigator will be there. Super excited to see them. Can't even wait. Marcia Clark, O.J. Simpson's prosecutor, will be there. I am excited to hear what she has to say. When I found out she was going to be there, I was like, who the heck is Marcia Clark? And then I found out she was O.J.'s prosecutor. And I was just absolutely so excited because I do want to hear her side of the story. I want to hear, she retired after the case, and as I would have as well. That case was absolute bullcrap, in my opinion. But if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit, I guess, Mr. Kardashian. But when I found out she was going to be there and found out who she was, I actually went to the OJ documents and started looking at the OJ documents, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember this, I remember that, and I was 10 years old. Yeah, I was 10. No, 11. Can't remember when it happened, but I know I was between 10 and 11 when it happened, and I still remember it. I remember the slow white Bronco chase on the LA freeway, busted into the NBA finals, and I just, that was the crime of the century, the trial of the century, and we were supposed to have a trial of the century again, and now that is not happening. Even though I do think that Idaho 4 is going to be literally definitely the case of the decade. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Unless something else happens, but wow. I mean, wow. I knew our heads were going to roll at some point, just like in Sebastian's case. I think when all is said and done in Sebastian's case, our heads are going to roll. I thought our heads were going to roll in this case. I think my head is just rolling in the opposite direction of what I thought it was going to, because it's crazy. It's crazy how a state, a prosecution, can lie and lie and lie and back someone into a corner like this. I don't know. It's not fair to the families. I don't know what kind of a person. I don't know if it does have to do with the people, though, because they're the ones that came up with the plea agreement. Am I not correct? I mean, come on. Like, someone came up with a plea deal. And to come up with a plea deal like this is not humane. Because if you tell the families, we got this, relax, there's going to be no plea. And then 2.5 years later, here we are. That's just some BS in my mind, in my opinion. And I don't know how Bill Thompson lays down at night. And I was on the opposite side of this in the beginning. And I was also, but we also didn't know as much, but I was also involved with people on the other side. But there was a couple people that I was first involved with in this case that asked questions, and Willie's one of them. And I appreciate Willie. And then, the little questions that didn't add up to me, and I'm like, well, Willie knows Brian, and he's in PA, and he says it like he knows him. I'm going to listen to somebody that knows him over somebody that don't. And the other thing is Twiz is out in Idaho. I'm going to listen to someone like Twiz over somebody that don't live there. I just like in Sebastian's case, like I was on the other side to begin with. And Clue and Cletus are out there. They're there with Katie and Chris and with Seth. And they have firsthand experience with all three. And they're boots on the ground. And I'm going to listen to that over somebody that does not. That's just the way it is. That's it. That's all. Just like if I'm here and something happens in Omaha, I hope somebody listens to me over somebody that don't know crap or hasn't even been in the, state or city. I don't know how some people can get so wild. And I don't know if every case gets this way. But man, no, not every case gets this way. Not every case gets the attention it deserves, but no case deserves the drama Sebastian's case has led up to. And no case deserves the injustice, in my opinion, that the Idaho case has received. I just hope that I didn't come onto this platform too early. I literally I did not even know you could go live on YouTube for the longest time. And then I found out that you could, and I found out there was lives and these creators and this, this avenue to go. And I literally sat and watched True Crime Daily for months with Chris Hansen. And that's another one. I'm super excited. I think I think he's on the list to be back at a CrimeCon this year. Super excited. I actually want to talk to him this year. I didn't get a chance to talk to him last year. But yeah, I sat for months and just watched True Crime Daily videos. And I never forget my first cases, that I saw. And yeah, I never forget those. So, and then I found Kendall Ray, and she was the first creator that I found, but still didn't even know you could go live because she just does the videos, the pre-recorded videos. She don't go live or anything. And then I found, I think Christina Randall was my second one, and then Annie Elise and Savannah Brimer. And then it just kind of went on from there. And then Rachel Shannon. And I actually talked to Rachel last year. She is, if you guys get a chance to meet Rachel, she is the most down-to-earth girl ever. Like, I didn't even know her. She was one of the ones that wasn't really on my radar to talk to a lot, but I ended up talking to her the most. And she does everything by herself. So she is a one-man show, a one-woman show. And I appreciate that, and I told her that. So I hope to see her again. And Danielle Hallen as well. And I saw John Lorden and Derek and Stephanie last year. I didn't get to talk to Derek and Stephanie last year, but I will this year if they're there. But yeah, it's been crazy. A very crazy ride. And then I found out you could go live, and then I found out you can have a channel, and here I am. You know, I wish I had more time, energy to do more. But with I work a full-time job outside of this, and it's a night shift. So, and we work 12-hour shifts. And it is not the easiest. A lot of people tell me they couldn't do my shift. And I'm like, yeah, it's really hard. If I had a family, there'd be no way. No way. Unless I had a lot of help from a man, which I would. But since I don't have that, I don't have to worry about anything. I just got myself to worry about, and, you know. But just in general, never thought I'd take such an interest in the true crime. The only foreshadowing, and I was thinking about this the other day, the only foreshadowing that I can really do to think about is my mom was a chemistry science teacher. She loved the show ER, and I took her chemistry class because I wanted to do all the experiments and I thought it'd be fun, but I didn't realize all the reports and everything we had to do. And I got a D- in her chemistry class. She told me she'd kill me if I failed, and I passed by 0.03. So she didn't kill me. Thank God. That would have been funny if I would have failed my mom's chemistry class though, but I barely sneaked by, which is awesome. But at that time, like, I couldn't even handle like needles or talking about blood, or like I passed out in biology class once. And now I, you know, work for a hospital dispatch company, like, you know, and I listen to doctors talk about heart attacks and strokes and chest pain and fingers getting chopped off and having to go to the surgery, and GI bleeds and brain bleeds. And I mean, those are our main, some of our main reasons for calls and having to, transfer patients and stuff. So that's a step in the right direction, a step forward for me. Like, that's a very big deal for me to even be able to talk about it, let alone, you know, and I found my way to pharmacy in a different way. And that's how I started learning about the medical field, was through pharmacy in a different way, through my call center, through my, working with the pharmacists on, being a mail order specialty pharmacy, you know, And then I went to the other side of pharmacy, to the insurance side of pharmacy, and then that brought me to where I'm at today. And I guess the only, like, that's how, like, my life and my career, but the true crime, she loved Law and Order, CSI, or SVU. And uh, I was like, Mom, like, because I always watched, her dad, my grandpa loved Law and Order. She watched it all the time. And I was like, Mom, is SVU Sex Victims Unit? And she's like, well, it's Special Victims Unit, but it has to do with those kind of crimes. And I'm like, oh. And I was like young. I was like 13 to 15 when I was asking her about all that. And never thought I'd get as deep into actual true crime as I am. It's crazy how things work out though. Like I've become my mother. Never thought that was possible. We probably have more in common today than I know. But yeah, not sure if anybody wants to join me or can join me or anything of the sort. I know Dago's live right now. I didn't want to, I just thought I'd come on. I didn't know what time he was going on. But if I don't get anybody here in a little bit, I'll go over there. I might go to work early today. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm usually not up at this time. But as I say, it is my third day off and third day off. I have to go back tonight. But usually by now I get my days and nights straightened out just to get them mixed up again tonight. So hopefully I'll be able to take a little nap again before I go. But yeah, as I say, the house is quiet. My family left. The only thing I've got is the dog. They left me with a very clean house. So I am set. And it's just it's very overcast today. But it looks gorgeous out, like I said. Yeah. So if anyone has any comments, even later, if you watch the replay and you have comments or want to talk about Kelsey Berreth, let me know. We can revisit anytime. I'm going to redo the schedule and start posting. I'll start posting a little in advance when I'm going to be on. It doesn't always work out because, my schedule is messed up. And I don't expect people to be up at, 3 or 4 in the morning. I know Wispy is, but everyone's over in Wispy's then. So I don't know if anyone would, if anyone would join me at 3 or 4 over Wispy. I don't know, but that's the only one that I know that's on at 3 or 4 in the morning. And the earliest one that I know that goes on in the morning is Granny because she's on the East Coast and she goes on early. And I don't know if anybody had come over to mine over Granny either, but I'm usually by the time Granny's on is the time I want to go to bed. But I will say this, I will plan on going live on Monday and Tuesday because my family is still going to be gone. So I will plan on then. I don't know when, but my days off are Monday, Tuesday, so I will definitely be on then. Even though I do have things I want to do outside the house those days. I want to go to the gym, maybe do a little DoorDash. I don't know. Also, just kind of want to point out, I do have a second channel I'm trying to get subscribers to. so I can go live about non-true crime, kind of just everyday life things. I do have other hobbies, a couple other hobbies that I could just go live and work on my projects with you guys. I do that. I do the diamond art, and I'd like to kind of go live, talk to you guys about everything outside of true crime, and do my diamond art with you, and drink a cup of coffee. um, yeah, yeah, that would be fun, I think. Or if I just want to get on my phone and go live in the car, and talk to you guys or hang out or go to a coffee shop and hang out with y'all. I just want to be able to do that. Um, but I do want to keep my true crime channel as well. True crime means a lot to me. It's been a wonderful learning hobby, hence class in crime. Um, Also, because my mom was a teacher, was trying to figure out what to name my channel forever, and I've had a couple names, but this one will probably stick for the true crime channel. Just hoping if you guys want to become a member, or not, you can't become a member yet. I don't have 1,000 subs. I have 100. But if you do want to sub up, please do so. I might post my second channel in here too. So if you want to help me out there, that'd be great. I need 50 subscribers to go live. I have 11, maybe 10 now. I don't know. But I need 50 to go live. So once I hit 50, I can go live over there about everything not true crime. But we'll talk about true crime over here. Like I say, I'm also gonna, after CrimeCon, and because between last CrimeCon and this CrimeCon has been 15 months. Between this CrimeCon and next CrimeCon, it's 6 months. Wait, is it 8 months? So I don't have near as the amount of time to save the money to go there next time. So I may not go there next time. I'm going to try my hardest depending on where, depending on if I can drive or fly, and how badly I really want to do this again. It gets a little financially daunting, I guess. But I mean, that doesn't mean I'll never go back. It's just means I might take a year break and do something else. But anyways, between this CrimeCon and next CrimeCon, I do have, I do want to catch up on what I have been wanting to do, and then leading up to the next one. So we'll just have to see where it's at next year, what that's going to look like, and then I can, do the schedule accordingly. Yeah, I do have, so I think I was going to take a little bit of a break after CrimeCon, maybe do a couple shows here and there in the month of September. Hold on, I gotta plug this in. Do a couple shows in the month of September between CrimeCon and the beginning of October, but then starting October, do like a segment from October to December, and then take the holiday break, and then from January to March. January, February, March will be a segment, and then April and May will be the countdown to the next CrimeCon. So that's kind of how I look at it. I want to do the schedule in like 3-month series, I guess, and just pick what to do in each series. But yeah, if anyone, like I say, I really do think that, there has been a little bit of justice for Kelsey. She hasn't been found, but I don't think I don't think there's a chance for her to be found, as I think she has been burned. And she's gone. But Patrick is serving, I believe, a life sentence. I'm not sure, but he's in jail for it. He will be for some time, at least, and unless something happens. But I think there is a little bit of justice there. Just unfortunate that she hasn't been found. And it's sad. And there's a lot of people out there that haven't been found. And there's a lot of people out there that, we know are just missing. There's some that we have proof are not with us and have not been found. So there's a lot of different scenarios, but a lot of the same scenarios. And just want to bring awareness and just, let everyone know I haven't forgotten about Kelsey's case either. I don't know who is up next. We'll talk about John Bonet. We'll talk about Chris Watts. Since I do want, this is not going to be a positive for the LGBT community, but I do want to talk about a LGBT case out of Colorado before CrimeCon. What else are we talking about? Oh, well, we will talk about Crystal Krug, Crystal Reisinger, Natalie Bollinger. We'll talk about them sometime. You can't talk about Colorado without talking about Dylan Redwood. Or Harold is it Harold Henthorn? I don't know. I'm going to talk about him at some point, Harold Henthorn, but also Scott Kimball. So we'll be talking about them. I don't love to talk about serial killers, but yeah. And then I don't know what else. I talked about Jack Scraton. I'll be, if possible, when I'm at CrimeCon, I will try to get in touch with Jax's mom, if possible. I don't know if she'll be interested in going to CrimeCon or whatnot, but the now found transgender hairstylist that was found a couple weeks ago after a month of missing in Denver. I'm going to try to go by where she was found just to see just to confirm that the area she was found in was not a very good area. I'm also, my great grandma lived in Denver, so I'm going to go see her old house. Haven't been there since, I don't even know if I've ever been by it since she passed away in the 90s. And then I'm going to go out to the cemetery and see her. What else? Oh, I want to visit the Columbine memorial as well. So I'm going to try to do that when I'm there, because you can't forget about Columbine when you're talking about Colorado crime. So that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. The beginning of the mass school shootings, not good. And also the Aurora Theater. I kind of want to go because we're in Aurora when we're at the CrimeCon, so I might go see if just to see the what's it called, the Theater 16, I believe is what the whole theater is called, the Aurora Theater 16. And also Club Q. There is a guy that I know, or that I saw after he was one of the victims that got shot at Club Q, and he came to Omaha to our to one of our events at the bar, and I didn't know it, but someone pointed out that he was one of the guys that got shot at Club Q in Colorado. Is that in Colorado Springs though? I think Club Q's in Colorado Springs, and that's a ways away from. I won't be able to go there, but my thoughts do still go out to Pulse and Club Q. All the victims of those, and the Aurora shooting, and Columbine, and Bailey. Gosh. And I still have the Denver News app, so I still get, well, I don't really ever look at it, but if I wanted to, I could just pull it up, and I'm sure I'd find stuff. So, yeah, and when I lived back home, that's all I got was Denver News, because I was closer to Denver than I was here in Omaha. So, I still have the news app. I just have to look it up. There's, oh yeah, the apartment shooting in Broomfield last year was kind of crazy too. Because my cousin lives in Broomfield, and I was like, boy, get your wife, get your kids, and get home. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm about ready to log off. Well, speaking of logging off, if I ever get tired enough, or get sad enough, or think I'm getting picked on enough, or can't handle this platform, I will log off. Now, maybe some of you can take some advice. One of you, especially. If you feel like you're not making it on this platform, if you feel like it is too much, if you do not look forward to this platform, log off. Go do something else. Go touch grass or something. I don't know. Go do something else. Take a break. It's not worth the mental health to go to shit. Nothing. Nothing is. If I was getting, if I couldn't handle work no more, and people were treating me this way, and I thought people were treating me so bad, I would log off. As in, I would say, at my real job, I would say goodbye. I would say goodbye. I would go find me a new, happier place. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm going to say on that. And look at how much I'm on. I'm not on here very much. You want to know why? Because I don't got the energy. Because I am tired. I am tired. I don't have the energy, and it's hard to sometimes do it. And like I say, I never usually go live on days that I work. That's because I have to rest. And on days off that I have, I'm still messed up because I work a night shift. So I do what I can when I can. This is not my regular scheduled income, and if it was and I wasn't making it, I'd go get a new regularly scheduled income. That's all I'm going to say on that. But yeah, I don't know if it's been nice for you guys, but it's been nice for me to chat, get on here, even though nobody's joining. But I do see a couple people listening, but I don't know who. But thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Hope all is well. I, as I say, I don't know what my topics will be on Monday and Tuesday. and I don't know when. I'm assuming not till Monday night at the earliest. And Tuesday afternoon, I don't know. I just have other things to do, so I will schedule it around that. My family's still going to be gone, so I'm still going to have the quiet house to myself. Yeah. And it'll be nice. So we will continue the Colorado crime series with a couple new topics coming up on Monday, Tuesday. Just not exactly sure because, like I said, I lost my schedule, but I will make a new one. And continue to count down to CrimeCon. I leave September 3rd, so that is I don't know. It's how many days till September 3rd? I'm supposed to leave September 3rd. 54 days. So I will put my, if you guys would like to help me out get into CrimeCon, that'd be wonderful as well. Help the channel grow, get more ideas on what to do with the channel. That'd be great. I'm always, I want to do my own thing, my own idea, but I also am willing to take ideas, and everything. So if anyone would like to help me get there financially, that would be great. It'll just help keep the channel going and everything, as well. It'll give me motivation is what it will do. But I'm going to be here regardless because I just think that these stories are important to learn about, bring awareness, because it's absolutely something that needs more attention and obviously doesn't get enough attention, but the more awareness we can bring to these, the more justice for victims and families we will get. With that, y'all, I'm going to log off and get ready for work. Take a nap, take a shower, do all the things that a human has to do. I hope you guys will join me next time on Monday. I don't know when. And Tuesday, don't know when. And I hope you all have a great rest of the day. I love you. Thank you for joining me. And until then, I will see you next time and stay safe.